A world where babies are grown in a sterile, artificial womb inside a machine.
Chinese robot babies grown in robot wombs. Brilliant. There's nothing else to worry about. With all of the problems of starvation, genocide, social despair, despondency, cultural breakdown, probably you're wondering how long it will be before a robot can bear a human child. Not that long, thank God.
Now, this is quite the story. Hopefully you're sitting down. You're ready for this. Scientists in China are developing a device that they call a pregnancy robot.
Here's what's going on. It has an artificial womb, and in its abdomen that would receive nutrients through a hose.
What's the point of making it look like a woman? What's the point? Like, it's not going to walk around. It's not going to feed the baby. It's not going to love the baby. It's not going to tell the baby stories or murmur nursery rhymes into its own robo abdomen. You might as well have it looking like a TV set or a swastika. It doesn't matter what it looks like, does it? Why are they making it look, frankly, milfy?
The robot would be able to carry a fetus for about 10 months before giving birth.
Is that even one of them? I mean, I don't want to judge her based on her appearance, though she is just a robot. But is there any need for her to be quite so... I mean, come on.
You heard that right. It's not clear how the fertilized egg would be implanted in it.
Get your hands off. She's pregnant. Get your hands off her.
Or how the bot would give birth. This sounds like a science fiction movie. Usually this is where the Matrix comes into play and Neo has to come save humanity. Hiring a humanoid to carry out a baby would reportedly cost about $14,000. That's a fraction of what a human surrogate would be paid if all goes to plan.
Oh, I see. Right. It's like an economic endeavor. Oh, God, here I am sort of worrying about the moral aspects of this story, but it's just to save money on surrogacy. I suppose it shows you what a diffuse, fragmented and broken world we're living in when there's so much starvation and poverty and despair. I know someone right now will be saying, actually, historically, more people are not living in poverty than ever before and everything's fantastic, but it isn't fantastic, is it? We're on the very, very edge of real radical breakdown. Look at what's happening in the UK right now. Look at the potential for a global war that could break out between, I don't know, India and Pakistan, or Russia and America, or China and America. I mean, there's so many ways that the world's falling apart. And someone somewhere is thinking, what we need is robo-MILFs.
The prototype could be ready by as early as next year.
So many questions still remain. Okay.
There's a bit more of it.
Imagine a world where the act of pregnancy is no longer a human experience, but a technological one.
Well, that's hell. That's hell that you're imagining there.
A world where babies are grown in a sterile, artificial womb inside a machine. Something depicted in sci-fi cult movie The Matrix, it's the audacious new reality being pursued by Chinese scientists. They are developing what they claim is the world's first pregnancy robot, a humanoid surrogate capable of carrying a baby to term and giving birth.
So all of these images are B-roll. We don't know what the old mum robot's going to look like now, so let's not get too alarmed by the various depictions of sexualized femininity that have appeared in this video. None of them are being put forward as potential robo-mums. This is from Telegraph UK newspaper. The world's first humanoid robot surrogate could give birth to a live baby, scientists have claimed. We can't come up with a vaccine that don't give people myocarditis, but let's have a robot that's knocking out kids. Experts are developing technology that will mimic a pregnancy from conception to delivery, with the infant growing inside an artificial womb and receiving nutrients through a tube. After 9 months, a live baby will be born, according to Dr. Zhang Quifeng, who founded the company Kaiwa Technology in the city of Guangzhou. Don't you reckon as well that these stories are designed to kind of stoke a sort of prejudicial reflux against China? Something that we've been doing for centuries in the Anglophonic world, kind of like, oh, them yellow devils, them evil Chinese. There's kind of just an ongoing anger that China refused to be America's India, emulated their production models and threw it back in America's faces and became themselves a global superpower. Some people in the political realm and military realm tell me that China do have expansionist ideals, and maybe the truth is if we understood the reality of geopolitical empire and the kind of conflagrations that are mostly concealed, perhaps we would willingly accept our government censoring our free speech and imprisoning us, and the endless ongoing culture war. Wherever you're watching this, I know your country will be being consumed by culture war because it's happening everywhere. Maybe we'd accept it if we knew the true threat of China or Russia or whoever, but I can't help but feel that what's required is a radical return to God, and that the point of all this technology might be to spread a deep and holy divine message to awaken all of us in our pods, and that kind of is like the movie The Matrix, but the aspects of it we should be emulating, and not the bits where babies are grown in pods, but the bit where people wake up to the fact that reality is a construct, and deep within you there's a very, very powerful truth, and that your consciousness is an interactive and protean component that helps build realities if you awaken it.
This machine, they say, will be equipped with a cutting-edge artificial womb that receives nutrients through a complex network of hoses and tubes.
That's a cutting-edge womb. It's the kind of womb everyone wants. Who doesn't want a razor-sharp womb with a razor-sharp vagina to boot?
The humanoid, priced at around $1,400, being reportedly developed by Kaiwa Technology, a Guangzhou-based tech company. But with every breakthrough comes a burning question. Just because we can, should we? For centuries, pregnancy has been the most human of experiences. Replacing it with machines sparks fierce ethical debate. What does it mean for the sanctity of motherhood and the human bond between parent and child? There is also the question about who will control these artificial wombs. Will babies become products designed, engineered, manufactured? Critics warn of a slippery slope where life itself is commodified. Will the rich buy robo-surrogates while others grapple with infertility or medical risks? The implications are enormous, and the world is watching closely.
Dr. Zhang, a PhD graduate at Nanyang Technological University in Singapore, has claimed the technology is already at the mature stage. He added, now it needs to be implanted in the robot's abdomen so a real person and the robot can interact to achieve pregnancy, allowing the fetus to grow inside. That's a lovely bit of euphemism. Implanted in the robot's abdomen so a real person and a robot can interact. When you say interact, do you mean ejaculate into a robot? Any volunteers? Answers in the comments. Prototype of the humanoid is set to be sold for about £10,000 next year. Pretty reasonable. You got to say, the Chinese, they are able to manufacture at a more reasonable price than any of their Western competitors. Reports in the Chinese media said the humanoid has been designed to mimic the entire process of pregnancy from the moment of conception to birth. However, the specifics on exactly how the egg and sperm are fertilized are currently unclear. For the entire gestation period, the infant will live inside the robot's body, although experts have not yet stated how the fetus will be implanted in the tech womb. Where's the fetus going to gestate? You're going to keep it in a box? What do you want to be a woman for, Stan? The developing babies will be surrounded by artificial amniotic fluid to create a womb-like environment. Dr. Shang said, the technology is not an entirely new concept, as scientists in the past have successfully kept premature lambs alive in a bio bag for weeks. The innovation has already prompted a legal and ethical debate. Dr. Zhang said he's already been in talks with Guangdong province authorities to prepare drafts for policy and legislation. If successful, the science could revolutionise medical science and our notions of family and fertility. The humanoid could be seen as a tool to tackle rising rates of infertility in China, which has gone up from 11.9% in 2007 to 18% in 2020. Also, let's address that. Why is everyone infertile? Why is male fertility and female fertility in decline? Why aren't people breeding anymore? Why are we not addressing the various toxins, ideological, sociological, and nutritional, that are leading to population decline? Instead of which, let's have a sex robot with a bio bag in its belly. Yeah, we don't need to think about the underlying issues. Chinese news outlet The Standard reported that some medical experts are skeptical over the technology's ability to replicate human gestation. The experts have allegedly stated that complex biological processes such as maternal hormone secretion cannot be duplicated by science. Andrew Dworkin, the radical feminist writer, has previously hit out at artificial womb technology for fears it could result in the end of women. Researchers from the Children's Hospital Philadelphia published an article in 2022 in which they said such technology might pathologize pregnancy. However, some argue that artificial wombs could liberate women from pregnancy risks so they would no longer have to endure the physical burden of carrying a baby. There you go. There's another story that makes you question whether or not there's anything to save. Fix your mind immediately on Christ. Allow yourself to experience absolute life, absolute intelligence, absolute love, and absolute health. Awaken now. Awaken now. Don't get distracted by the fragmented cultural and social issues that are laying like scales upon your eyes each day. Awaken now while you still can, I pray. Join us these days for our show on Rumble. Till then, if you can, stay free. Rumble Premium is a beautiful way of getting additional content, not just from me, but from Kim Iverson, from Ruben, from Mug Club, from Timcast, some of the world's softest, fluffiest liberals. Rumble Premium gives you an ad-free experience, and you will get access to things that I wouldn't normally show anybody. Yes, that's right. My genitals. There will be no genitals. Whether it's breaking news or real talk or the content that challenges the narrative,
Rumble Premium puts you in the front row. Support creators who actually say what they mean and mean what they say, who aren't just, what does it say there? Reading a script to get, what's that? Money. Yeah, you don't need none of that stuff. Go to rumble.com/premium brand and join today. That's rumble.com/premium/brand, because truth shouldn't come from a filter. Remember when the government tried to bring me down? Rumble backed me, because why? They believe in freedom. Mine, yours, everyone's. Join us. Click the link.
Thanks for watching the video. Have a look at this one over here, or join us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on Rumble.